So next we're going to talk about numerical summaries of the data, and we're going to look at a few of them. First we're going to start with measures of what's called measures of center. Now you may have heard of averages before, and we try to avoid to use the word average in statistics because it's a bit ambiguous. And instead we're going to use the word mean, the arithmetic mean, more specifically, which is what we're going to use to calculate what you've probably heard called average before. And so the mean we calculate by finding the sum of the scores and dividing by the number of scores. So the mean is simply this, sum of scores. So there's our sum of scores, and we're going to divide it by the number of scores. We have 4 scores here. And pulling out my calculator, I get 85.25. So we can say that Marcy's mean exam score is 85.25. Let's look at another one. Here's the number of touchdown passes thrown by each of the 31 teams in the National Football League in the 2000 season. And we could find the mean number of passes thrown. So if we're going to do that, we're going to need to add all of these up. So we're going to find this plus that plus that plus that plus that plus that, so on and so forth. And it turns out those add up to 634. Then to find the mean, we're going to take that sum and divide it by how many scores there are. There's 31 different counts here. And we divide that, and we get 20.4516. Now, it would be appropriate here, because all of this data has no decimal places attached to it, it would be appropriate here for us to round this to 1 decimal place. It's common to round means to 1 decimal place more than the data originally had. So it would be most correct here for us to say the mean number of touchdown passes thrown in the NFL season in the 2000 season was 20.5 passes. But it's certainly not uncommon to hear the word average used in place of mean, at least in common language.